What's up guys, Infernape here, and I hope you're enjoying your first week back to school, college or university or wherever it is you may go. I've started my first week of college like last week, and I've been enjoying it just because I only go once a week. I'm sure you remember last week that I made my top 10 Generation 1 Pokemon, and I also said that I was going to turn it into a series. Well, here's the second part of that video by bringing you my top 10 Generation 2 Pokemon. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. At number 10, we have Ampharos. Or Ampharos, or whatever you want to call it. I'll call it Ampharos. Now, Ampharos is just a great Pokemon. Definitely great to have it in a Gen 2 playthrough. It's also like one of the first Pokemon I ever caught in my first ever Pokemon game, which was Heart Gold. And I really like using Ampharos. I'm not too fond of its Mega, and I don't get why making it have more hair makes it a Dragon type. That's basically copying Goku. Like, the more hair you get, the more powerful it is. But I still really like Ampharos. I actually have a competitive shiny Ampharos that I got off GTS, which was kind of cool. And yeah, it's got Dragon Pulse, Volt Switch, Rest and Sleep Talk. Not the greatest moveset for an Ampharos, I must say, but I still really like Ampharos regardless. At number 9, we have Steelix. Now, Steelix is such a badass Pokemon. Now, just look at it and tell me that it's not badass. If you don't find it badass, you can leave. Steelix is just so cool. I definitely think it was really deserving that Onix evolved into a Steelix, because Onix did look quite incomplete. And Steelix is just so awesome. Like I said in my collaboration with Dr. Amnesia, it's very used in the anime, just not very used in competitive. And I have made lots of competitive Steelix in the past, and I loved using every single one of them. At number 8, we have Kingdra. Now, Kingdra is definitely such a cool Pokemon. It's combining two of my favourite types, which is Water and Dragon. I love Dragon types. Like, it's got to be one of the greatest Dragon types that has ever been created. Now, I've named so many Kingdra that have caused me trouble in the past, but the main one is probably either Claire's Kingdra or Juan's Kingdra. Like, I definitely think that Juan's Kingdra is like a bit more tricky to handle, because in those Water Pulse and Double Team, like those two moves are such a devastation. But I definitely think that Claire's Kingdra is based more on power. Like, and no matter what you do, it's always going to be a bit of a handful unless you've got a powerful Dragon type on you, which means you're going to have to spend hours in the game corner just so you can get a Dratini or a Dragonair or whatever. And yeah, it's just such a tricky Pokemon to handle, especially with Dragon Pulse, Hyper Beam, and Hydro Pump. It's just such a powerful Pokemon, and I love using it in a playthrough. At number 7, we have Raikou. Now, I definitely found it quite interesting that the two mascot legendaries for Heart Gold and Soul Silver had their own are in charge of their own like little legendary trio. Ho-Oh's in charge of the legendary dogs, and Lugia is in charge of the legendary birds. I definitely prefer the legendary dogs, but my favourite legendary dog has got to be Raikou, or Raikou, or however you want to pronounce it. It just looks so badass. It used to be one of my favourite Pokemon, if not my favourite Pokemon when I was a kid. And it still remained one of my favourite Gen 2 Pokemon. I love its design. It's cool that I based it off the saber-toothed tiger, which is really cool. And I just really love using Raikou as much as I can. At number 6, we have Heracross. Now, Heracross is such a cool Pokemon. I really love Ash's Heracross in the Pokemon anime. It's just such a cool Pokemon that I spent hours in my original Heart Gold Soul Silver just to find a Heracross. I didn't find it at all. But after a little while, I found a Heracross, and I love using him. Mr. Cumbreon mentioned to use a Heracross in a Heart Gold, Soul Silver, whatever. And I just really like Heracross. It's such a cool Pokemon. Like, you can easily just use close combat Mega Horn and it will just get the job done before an opponent can even make an attack. Its Mega Evolution's okay, not the greatest Mega Evolution I've seen, but it's still pretty cool. At number 5, we have Ho-Oh. Now, Ho-Oh is the first ever legendary that I caught. It's such an amazing and legendary Pokemon. Out of Ho-Oh and Lugia, I definitely think Ho-Oh looks better, mainly because of its shiny. Its shiny is the two colours of the original games, which is gold and silver, which I find amazing. I did capture shiny Ho-Oh in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which I still have in my Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I love it to pieces. And I've got to say, Lugia's shiny isn't the greatest. Like, I'm not too fond of pink shinies or pink Pokemon at all, but it's okay. Lugia's an alright Pokemon, but I think Ho-Oh's a lot better. At number 4, we have Tyranitar. Now, the Tyranitar has got to be the epitome of badass. Now, just look at that Pokemon and tell me you aren't scared. I know you're lying. Oh, I just love Tyranitar, especially its Mega Evolution. I have actually recently made a competitive Tyranitar by giving it Stone Edge, Dragon Dance, Earthquake and Fire Punch, and I love it. It's such a cool Pokemon, whether you decide to Mega Evolve it or not. It's great and competitive, mainly in Smogon, and I just love Tyranitar, and I can't imagine the Pokemon world without a Tyranitar in it. At number 3, we have Feraligatr. Now, Feraligatr has got to be the second and best starter Pokemon in Generation 2. Were you wondering what number 1 is? Well, you have to wait till number 1. Now, Feraligatr is so cool. I've used it loads of times in a Gen 2 playthrough, and I loved using him. I really want them to make a competitive Feraligatr, but in order to do so, you need to find its hidden ability in Sheer Force, which I haven't done yet, but I will. And if you want to know how to make a competitive Feraligatr, you need Sheer Force with Adamant Nature, with Waterfall, Ice Punch, Earthquake, and some other move, maybe Crunch, maybe. And I just love using Feraligatr in a playthrough, and I can't wait to make my own competitive Feraligatr. At number 2, we have Umbreon. Now, Umbreon has got to be my favourite evolution out of all of them. I really like the evolutions. Like, I've got to say, like, Umbreon's got to be the one that stands out for me because of the Pokemon Chronicle series with Gary's Umbreon, and I've just found it so cool. I've made a competitive Umbreon a few times. I actually got a shiny Umbreon off of a GTS, even though I didn't ask for a shiny. But like the dip I am, I accidentally deleted the data and got rid of my shiny Umbreon by accident. But I have fond memories of that shiny Umbreon. I love it to pieces, and I can't wait to make a proper competitive Umbreon, which with a relaxed nature, with Curse, Payback, Moonlight, and some other move. I love Umbreon, and I just love the evolutions, and Umbreon has got to be the greatest one, and has the greatest shiny out of all of them. And finally, at number 1, we have Typhlosion. Now, Typhlosion has got to be the greatest starter in Generation 2. Chikorita through Meganium sucks big time, and it can't even win a single gym battle in Gen 2. Totodile through Feraligatr is okay, but I definitely prefer Cyndaquil through Typhlosion. Cyndaquil was actually the first ever Pokemon I ever picked, and the main reason it's not my channel mascot and not my favourite Pokemon of all time is there are so many other great fire starters, like Infernape. And Typhlosion is just such a cool Pokemon, and I just love it to pieces. And I play with a Cyndaquil through Typhlosion every time I play through a Gen 2 game. And there you have it, guys, my top 10 Generation 2 Pokemon. Now, next week, I'll be doing my top 10 Generation 3 Pokemon, so I hope you look out for that. And I'm sure I'll be a really surprise on some of the entries. Be sure to comment down below on what your top 10 or favourite Generation 2 Pokemon is. And let me know down in the comments like what kind of videos you want me to do more of. Do you want me to do more Pokemon? Do you want me to do more vlogs? Do you want me to do more singing videos, more impressions, or whatever? It can be anything. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to see more of. Until the next video, this is Infernape, signing off. Bye!